My beloved child, pause for a breath. Do not scroll past this message like the rushing streams of information out there. The very moment your finger touched the screen and your eyes rested here, it was no mindless coincidence of the virtual world. This is a sacred touch point, an appointment I carefully arranged long ago, just to whisper directly to your soul when you are at your most desperate. I know that lately, your heart has borne an incredibly heavy rhythm. I have stood quietly in the corner of your living room, witnessing the sometimes stifling atmosphere and the deep-seated worries etched around your eyes whenever you think of your family. I hear every sigh you hastily hide in the kitchen, every tear rolling down in the night when your loved ones have fallen asleep. The daily grind for survival, the invisible cracks in relationships, or sudden illnesses have made your home as unstable as a tiny boat in a massive storm. You have looked up at the night sky and bitterly wondered, is he ignoring my family's pain? Will he leave us to struggle in despair? My child, let me embrace that hurt. I have never, and will never, turn my back on the tears falling within your home. Every hardship your family is bending under right now is absolutely not a punishment or the universe forgetting you. Hidden beneath the surface of these struggles and dead ends is a profoundly great spiritual secret. The storms blowing through are not meant to tear down your roof, but to clear the path for a miraculous restoration quietly taking shape. There is an urgently important message, an invisible key I have kept specifically for your family's destiny. But to receive it, I need you to be still and open your heart. Please do not leave in a hurry. Allow your soul to lean into this stream of healing. If you choose to stay, to walk with me to the final moments of this message, I promise to lift the veil on this secret. I will give you a sacred sign, clear guidance for your family to step through the door of the storm, straight into an era of peace and prosperity. Before we dive deeper into this journey of restoration, I want you and me to perform a small ritual of connection. Take a deep breath. Relax those shoulders carrying far too many responsibilities, and write this phrase in the comments: my family receives the miracle. This small act is how you throw wide open the spiritual door, clearing away gloomy energy so the light of grace can flood your home. Stay here with me, listen quietly, and wait for the greatest gift meant for your family at the end. Let us begin. My resilient protector, my beloved child, as you sit there listening to these words, I know that deep down there are still ripples of doubt and self-pity. How many times have you asked yourself in utter exhaustion, if the Most High truly loves my family? Why does he let us struggle so much? Why does he stay silent when I cry out for a way out? I hear every single one of those complaints, and I do not blame you at all. Your heart is made of flesh, and human endurance always has its limits. When you see those around you seemingly achieving everything so easily, they have warm homes, abondant finance, harmonious children, while your family keeps drowning in endless storms, it is completely understandable that you feel it is unfair and that you are abandoned. You feel like a victim of fate, someone forgotten by the universe amid the rush of life. But, my resilient child, today I want to lift the fog obscuring your vision. My silence all this time is absolutely not indifference, and the pain your family is enduring is not an accident of creation. Recall the times you felt most trapped. There were doors of opportunity you battered until your hands bled, begging me to open them: a seemingly perfect job, an investment, or a relationship you believed would save your family. But that door remained slammed shut, cold and cruel. You cried, thinking I refused to bless you. But my child, you only saw the door. I saw the abyss behind it. If I had opened that job door, it would have swept away the little time you have for your children, pushing your family into permanent estrangement. If I had allowed that relationship to continue, their future betrayal would have dealt a fatal blow to your home. I am not silent because I abandon you. I am silent because I am busy working in the dark. acting as the silent architect, clearing away the rotten foundations around your family. Like a surgeon who must maintain absolute silence during a life or death operation, I have focused all divine energy on cutting out the toxic tumors threatening to destroy your home. My silence is the strongest shield of protection that you do not yet have the clarity to recognize, and I will show you what dark forces this shield has blocked in just a few moments. So rest assured and keep listening. I know this process is incredibly painful. The financial pressure weighing on your shoulders, the arguments born of frustration, the nights spouses turn their backs to each other with heavy sighs. You feel your home is like a blazing furnace. But my beloved child, gold can only be refined in red-hot fire. And premium wine is only made when grapes are crushed and pressed to their limits. The crucible your family is passing through was not designed to burn you to ashes. It was designed to burn away weakness, selfishness, pride, and deeply rooted bad habits. If I handed you a massive fortune or perfect peace right when your family's foundation was still loose, the weight of that blessing would collapse your home. Abundant finances without understanding and connection would only turn into swords, severing family bonds. Therefore, I had to use the pressure of circumstances to force you to turn back and look at each other, to learn to lean on each other, to chisel away the ego, to embrace forgiveness. This pain is a process of expanding your soul's capacity, so that when the rain of blessings pours down, your family will have the volume to receive and keep it forever. It is time you stop looking at yourself and your family as miserable victims of fate. Change the lens of your soul right now. I do not choose weak families to hand out harsh tests. I chose you because I see the blood of warriors in your veins. The hardships your family is facing are not just present-day troubles. They go much deeper than that. You are fighting the ghosts that have haunted your bloodline for generations. There is an invisible curse of poverty and hardship binding your bloodline, and I will guide you on how to personally sever that chain later in this message. Do not miss it, because it directly concerns the lives of the children you are raising. Every tear you swallowed, every ounce of patience you showed your spouse when they were angry, every effort to scrape together family meals. They are all golden bricks, building a throne of restoration. None of your endurance is meaningless. Not a single prayer choked out in tears goes unrecorded by the angels. Breathe a sigh of relief. My tenacious child, your exhaustion is coming to an end. The test in the crucible is complete, and your family has proven astonishing resilience. The cracks of the past have been welded into a solid block by the heat of the trial. Now, the soil of your home's soul has been thoroughly plowed, the weeds uprooted, and it is entirely ready for the most bountiful harvest the human mind can imagine. The delay is over. The preparation phase has closed. Right now, the wheel of the universe's destiny is shifting its axis, pointing straight at your front door. A supernatural reversal, swift, powerful, and unstoppable, is surging forth to sweep away every remnant of lack. And right after this, I will show you the 3 earth-shattering changes that will take place in your living room in the coming week, as well as what you must do right now to activate them. Keep your heartbeat steady, expand your soul, and walk on with me. The miracle has truly only just begun. The miracle has truly only just begun, because the bell of liberation has officially struck in the sky over your family. Close your eyes for a moment and feel this shift. Do you feel the space around you seemingly lighten a beat? The suffocation that used to crush your chest every time you stepped through the door is fading away. That is because the delay has expired. The hourglass counting the days of drought, barrenness, and gridlock for your home has drained its final grain of sand. At this very second, as my voice echoes in your mind, I personally step over your threshold, bearing a supernatural decree from the supreme throne. I am realigning the entire axis of your family's destiny, pulling it out of the orbit of despair and straight into the current of abundance. I promise to show you the 3 earth-shattering changes that will take place in your home. And here is what I am building in the unseen realm, preparing to manifest into the physical world right before your eyes. The first shift, and also the thing that has kept you awake so many nights. Permanent financial liberation. I know very well the weight of due bills. I stood there when you stared at your phone screen, counting every penny in your bank account with panic rising in your throat. I understand the suffocation when you look at an empty wallet, and the heartbreaking agony when you cannot buy your children the things they wish for, or provide a decent meal for your aging parents. The obsession with money and the fear of tomorrow have choked the laughter out of your living room for far too long. It turned dinners into heavy silences, and turned inquiries into sparks for endless arguments. But hear my decree. You child who is bending under the weight, that lack has no right to rule your family for another day. The dark shadow of poverty has been banished from the borders of your home. Right now, I am sending the angels of provision ahead of you to level mountains of obstacles. Debts that seemed like inescapable nooses will be cleared by resources that the human mind, with its limited logic, could never calculate. Doors of opportunity that coldly slammed in your face will automatically swing open. Unexpected income will come knocking. Helping hands and benefactors I carefully placed along your life's path will appear at the exact moment you need them most. Your family's financial flow is being unclogged. I grant you this abundance not for you to drown in wasteful extravagance or breed pride, but to return peace to your mind. I want you to be able to breathe a sigh of relief as you lie down each night, knowing tomorrow has been fully taken care of. I want you to use this abundance to rebuild a solid home, where children grow up in security, and where you can use your very blessings to reach out and help other vulnerable people. The second shift surging into your home is the revival of love, connection, and holistic health. A house is not just built with bricks and mortar, but supported by the life force of those living within it. Lately, silent illnesses have been ravaging the bodies of your loved ones, or yourself, eroding the life energy of the whole family. Chronic pain and physical and mental exhaustion have turned the house into an infirmary of fatigue. Along with that are invisible but deep emotional fractures. I see the cold distances in the marital bed, harsh dialogues replacing understanding, the alienation of growing children, and the bitterness accumulating day by day between those who once swore to love each other. But right now, my ultimate healing power is sweeping through every room. My divine light is surging through every blood vessel, every cell of the ones you love, purifying and expelling every seed of disease. Terrible diagnoses will be reversed. Strength and flexibility will return to weary bodies. And most importantly, I am breathing life into the heart of your home. The ice of resentment, bitterness, misunderstanding, and prideful ego between spouses, and between parents and children, is being melted by the fire of my love. You will begin to look at each other with new eyes, eyes washed by forgiveness and grace. Words as sharp as daggers will be replaced by the language of healing. Patience will return. Sincere hugs will erase the distance of months of coldness. Clear, ringing laughter will burst forth again at your family's dining table, forever chasing away the heavy, gloomy atmospheres that once reigned. The third shift, a special gift I reserve for your endurance, vindication, and the elevation of your status. I know very well the silent humiliations you have had to swallow. I have witnessed how some relatives, so-called friends, and those around you looked at your family's struggles with fake pity, or worse, disparagement, judgment, and contempt. They whispered behind your back. They gossiped about your failures. They smiled smugly seeing your family decline, secretly believing you would be forever stuck at the bottom of that quagmire when you needed them most. They turned their backs and walked away, leaving you flailing in the storm. But my beloved child, I am a God of justice and the restoration of honor. You do not need to open your mouth to explain, not to, or try to prove anything to anyone. The banquet of blessings I am about to set for your family will be placed right before the eyes of those who turned their backs and mocked you. They will have to stand there, speechless, amazed, and stunned, witnessing how I personally lift your family from the ashes to shine brilliantly. Your family's mighty rise, breakthrough prosperity, and perfect happiness will shatter all common logic and crush all gossip. My presence over your home will be so radiant that even those who once despised you will be forced to bow their heads and admit there is a supernatural, mighty, and great hand protecting, uplifting, and favoring this family. However, my child, there is a supreme law of the universe you must understand. Though my love for you is infinite, and though my angels have placed treasure chests of blessings right at your door, this universe still operates on the absolute respect for human free will. I stand at the door and knock, but I never break the door to barge in. It is you, the head of the family, the guardian of this home, who must personally turn the doorknob to invite me in. The restoration has been perfectly prepared, but it is on standby. It needs a sacred passcode to be activated and released into your physical world. That passcode is none other than your faith, and that faith must be materialized through a specific action in this physical world. Right now, I do not ask you to perform complex religious rituals, nor do I demand massive sacrifices or seeking out distant spiritual masters. I only need you to seal your faith right here, right at this moment, with an incredibly simple action that carries absolute spiritual power. Please press the like button on this message and subscribe to the channel. Please do not let your limited logic deceive you into thinking this is just a mindless tap of a finger on a phone screen or a normal social media interaction. No, my beloved child, in the invisible spiritual dimension that your physical eyes cannot see, this action carries a meaning far deeper and more authoritative than you can imagine. When you press like on this message, you are taking a brush and painting a blood mark of grace, a seal of protection upon your doorframe. You are boldly declaring to the entire universe, to the angels, and even to the forces of darkness, this house belongs to the light. This family is under the protection of the Most High, and all darkness, sickness, and poverty must immediately step back. It is a resounding amen, rising straight to the throne. A spiritual contract. You sign yourself to confirm you have entirely let go of past gridlocks, clearing your mind to open your heart to the reign of restoration. And when you press subscribe, you are not just following an information channel, you are establishing a continuous vibrational frequency, directly connecting your family to the source of divine abundance. You are writing the name of your home, your spouse, and your little children into the book of eternal protection. The moment your finger touches those buttons with a sincere heart, a wave of energy of peace, liberation, and blessing will instantly sweep through your living room. It will break the invisible shackles that have bound your finances and happiness for so long. Do it right now. Cast away your doubt. Act with all your sincerity and the fiercest yearning from the bottom of your heart. Let the spiritual world clearly see the determination of a true warrior protecting their family. You have done very well, my beloved child. The connection has been established. The door has been thrown wide open. But my child, this journey does not stop there. As the light begins to shine into the hidden corners of your family, there is a shocking truth, a deep secret I must reveal to you right now. The restoration you just received is not merely to solve your depleted bills or your current arguments. Look deep into the past. The suffering, poverty, romantic struggles, or vicious diseases your family just went through are actually not due to your inadequacy, nor do they originate from your generation. What you are bearing is the consequence of a dark chain that has stretched across multiple generations, binding from the time of your grandparents and parents, passed down through the bloodline. And now, it is threatening to wrap around the feet of your innocent children. but I have chosen you. In your entire lineage, I have chosen you, not to continue bowing your head in endurance to that curse, but to become the great chain breaker for your whole family. The sword of power to personally sever this generational curse is ready, and I am about to hand it to you. The life, freedom, and destiny of the next generation in your family depend entirely on the secrets I am about to speak. Do not look away. Do not be distracted for even a second, because the decisive battle to reclaim the future for your children officially begins with the next decree. You have done very well, my beloved child. The connection has been established, and the door to your living room has officially swung wide open to receive the light. But my child, this journey does not stop there. As my brilliant light begins to shine into the darkest hidden corners of your family, there is a shocking truth. A deep secret I must reveal to you right now. The restoration you just received is not merely to solve your depleted bills or your current arguments. Expand your soul and look deep into the past. Over the years, as you bent under the weight of the storms in your home, have you ever stopped, quieted down, and suddenly realized a terrifying pattern? Look at your family's history. Did poverty, lack, and debt once choke the lives of your parents, exactly as it is trying to choke you now? Did marital fractures, betrayal, or cruel coldness once exist in your grandparents' lives? Or is there a vicious disease, a certain debilitation quietly passed down from generation to generation, like a ghost refusing to let go of your family's bloodline? My beloved child, hear my decree. Those things are absolutely not coincidences, and even less so a preordained fate that humans often resign themselves to. In the spiritual realm, that is called a generational curse. Invisible sentences, dark chains forged from mistakes, unhealed traumas, and blocked energies from your ancestors. When one generation cannot fully resolve its pain, that pain does not naturally disappear. It seeps deep into the bloodline, passing on to the next generation as a bitter and heavy inheritance. And you, my poor little child, you were born and unknowingly had to carry on your back a terrible legacy you did not create. The enemy of your soul used this generational chain to bind your feet from the moment you were born. He sowed insecurity into your mind. He pushed your family into dead ends to make you believe your family's destiny is hardship. You can never be wealthy. Your marriage will eventually break like those before you. Your children will have to taste the same suffering as you do now. That is exactly why you always feel you have to work 10, 100 times harder than others. But the results you get are so little. Like building sandcastles, you are swimming against a torrential flood of ancestral karma. You have tormented and blamed yourself far too much. You have cried into your pillow thinking you are a terrible parent, a failed spouse because you couldn't bring a complete smile to your home. But today, I want to personally wipe away those deeply unjust tears. I want to free your mind from the ceaseless guilt. It is not because you are weak. It is because you have been fighting alone in a fierce spiritual battle. A war that started long before you took your first breath. But, my resilient warrior, hold your head high. Among the thousands in your lineage, amidst those who gave up and chose to bow their heads to fate, I swept my eyes from the throne, and I saw you. I saw a heart that refuses to succumb to the darkness. I saw a soul full of love, ready to sacrifice to the point of exhaustion to protect its children. I saw the tears you shed, yearning for a truly peaceful home. And because of that, I chose you. I anoint your head with holy oil and bestow upon you a great title in heaven, the Chain Breaker. At this very moment, by the supreme power of the Creator, I place into your hands the sword of faith and light, the generational curse of poverty, separation, sickness, and suffering. When it touches the border of your life, shall shatter into 1,000 pieces. You will be the final stop for all pain in your lineage. You will stand at the crossroads of your family's history, towering like a mountain blocking the flood of darkness, so that from here on, a river of grace, peace, and prosperity will overflow into the next generation. Look at your children, or the children you will have in the future. I promise you a sacred vow by my very name. They will never have to walk the muddy tracks you have walked. They will never have to taste the trembling fear of not having money for tuition or a good meal. They will not have to witness family separation, nor grow up with deep psychological trauma and a lack of love. Their future has been personally liberated by me. Thanks to your resilience and tears today, your children will walk on a carpet of abundance. They will attract perfect relationships, and they will live a brilliant life, bathed in light. Their freedom and happiness are the greatest reward I give for your endurance. However, my beloved child, for this sword of power to swing and completely sever the generational chain, I need your cooperative action. Your words and language carry the power to shape the universe. What you write, what you declare, are decrees sealed in red in heaven. Right now, I want you to perform an ultimate ritual of liberation with me. Scroll down to the comments and write this declaration yourself with all the strength of your soul. My family is healed and liberated. All generational chains are broken forever. When you type each of these letters, do not do it unconsciously like a habit. Close your eyes for a second and imagine every word you write is a sword strike severing a link of poverty and suffering clinging to your family. When you press send on that comment, you are officially announcing to the angels and dealing a fatal blow to all forces of darkness that your family has been transferred to the kingdom of freedom. All old sentences have been torn up, and there is a sacred law of karma, a secret of multiplying blessings that I want you to apply right now. Giving is the master key to unlocking all treasures. I know, out there, around you, there are many friends, relatives, or acquaintances who are also secretly crying in the night because of broken families, because of mounting debts. They are also desperately searching for a lifeline just as you once did. Become my extended arm. Spread this message. Share it and send it to them. When you bring the torch of light to a house immersed in darkness, when you reach out to release blessings to another dead-end family, I will immediately dispatch a fleet of angels to protect and double the blessings upon your own family. Your sharing of this message is not a normal video sharing action. You are sowing a seed of salvation, and the one who sows the seed of salvation will reap a field of glory. Do it right now. Write the declaration and send this message, so the spiritual world records you as a radiant lighthouse of love. The chain is broken. The new foundation has been established. Your home is enveloped in my protective circle of light. But, my beloved child, be cautious. When a prisoner successfully escapes, the jailer goes mad with rage and hunts them down relentlessly. The dark force that has bound your family for so long is growling in extreme bitterness because it just lost control over your life and your children's lives. In the next few days, right before the miracle and wealth drop into your living room, it will launch a final attack, an incredibly cunning psychological test aimed at stealing back what it just lost. If you fail to recognize this trap, you might throw away your own harvest right before reaping day. Do not be afraid, for I have seen through their schemes. Focus intensely and listen, because right now, I will point out exactly what that trap is, what form it will take in your home, and the single exact thing you must do to crush it under your heel. Focus intensely and listen, because right now, I will point out exactly what that trap is, what form it will take in your home, and the single exact thing you must do to crush it under your heel. My beloved child, you currently stand on a very special boundary of the spiritual world. I call it the waiting room of miracles. This is the most still and fragile moment. The moment when the old delay has ended, but the physical manifestation of the new blessing has just touched your doorstep. The universe always follows an immutable law. Darkness always thrashes and struggles most fiercely right before the dawn breaks. The enemy of your soul, the dark force whose generational chain you just severed with your faith, knows very well that it has permanently lost its legal control over your family's life. It no longer has the power to stop the flow of finances, health, and happiness that I am pouring onto your home. But, because it cannot stop my blessing, it will resort to the most cowardly and only weapon it has left: deception and psychological manipulation. In the next few days, maybe even tomorrow, or even tonight, the enemy will launch a fake attack. He will throw a small spark into the middle of your living room. It will not be a massive disaster, because he no longer has the strength to create a disaster. It will only be an incredibly trivial incident designed meticulously to poke right at your emotional weak spot. Perhaps it is an unexpected bill that startles and scares you. Perhaps it is an unintentional but sharp remark, full of frustration and pressure, from your spouse after an exhausting workday. Perhaps it is the unprovoked rebellion of your children that makes you feel helpless, or simply a feeling of sadness, doubt, and exhaustion suddenly rushing in to squeeze your chest when you are sitting alone. What is the purpose of this trap? The enemy wants to anger you. He wants you to lose your temper. He wants you to react with bitterness, with arguments, with complaints. He wants you to look at that bill, look at your spouse's attitude, and exclaim in despair, "See, there is no miracle. Everything is still as terrible as before. God lied to me." My child, if you let out those words, if you let anger and doubt swallow you whole, you will personally slam your living room door shut, right as my angels are carrying in chests of blessings. The enemy cannot steal your miracle, unless he tricks you into throwing it away with your own hands. So what must you do when that trap appears? Smile, yes, my warrior. Smile with full authority and calmness. When your spouse snaps at you due to invisible pressures, do not snap back. Take a deep breath. Look at them with eyes of compassion and forgiveness, because you know they are also exhausted. When minor troubles strike, instead of panicking, close your eyes and whisper, "I know what you are doing. Darkness, I see through your desperation. My miracle has arrived, and you can no longer steal it." Your stillness, your unshakable peace amid the rising storm, is the deadliest counterattack that crushes the enemy's head. When you do not react the old way, the enemy will completely lose their power and be forced to retreat forever from your home. But for you to maintain that absolute calmness, for your soul to truly become a still autumn lake receiving the light, there is a deepest, the hardest test I need you to pass tonight. This is the prerequisite for the restoration to operate at the highest level. That test is named forgiveness. I am looking deep into your heart right now, beneath the strong armor you try to put on every day. I see the crisscrossing scars bleeding. I see the deep wounds you have kept hidden from everyone. You have been hurt too much. My little child, there were relatives who used your kindness and then turned their backs in betrayal. There were friends who stabbed fatal knives into your honor with malicious gossip. There were those who owed you, pushed your family into destitution, and then callously walked away. And sometimes, the deepest wounds came from those living under the same roof, the indifference of a spouse. The hurtful words of parents in the past have left deep craters of insecurity in your soul. You have carried that boulder of resentment, bitterness, and self-pity for so many years. You thought holding on to that hatred was a way to protect yourself, a way to punish those who did evil to you. You wait for the day karma will pour down on their heads to compensate for your tears. But my beloved child, hear me explain a truth of the universe. Hatred never punishes your enemy. Holding on to resentment is like drinking a cup of poison every day yourself, yet hoping the one who hurt you will die. The only one being eroded, devastated, and locked in the painful past is you. And here is the most important spiritual law you must remember. Hands clenched tight into fists of hatred will have no gaps left to open and receive the gold bars of blessing from heaven. Your soul is a vessel. If that vessel is filled with bitterness, resentment, and traumatic memories of the past, then my grace, wealth, and fresh love will have no space to flow in. I want to pour an ocean of blessings upon your family, but I cannot pour clean water into a cup filled with poison. Therefore, right now, in this sacred space of interface between me and you, I demand that you let go. Forgive them. I know this sounds overwhelming to you. Your logic is screaming, but God, what they did to me was too cruel. They do not deserve forgiveness. My child, I do not ask you to forgive because they deserve it. I ask you to forgive because you deserve peace. Forgiveness does not mean you agree with their evil. Forgiveness does not mean you have to go back to being friends with toxic people, or open the door for them to step back into your home and hurt your family again. No, you have every right to establish firm, protective boundaries. Forgiveness, in its most sacred sense, is the release of energy. It is when you declare, I sever all emotional ties with you. You no longer have the power to make me suffer, get angry, or feel sad for another second. I hand your judgment over to the Most High. And, as for me, I walk freely toward my light. Close your eyes right now. Call out the name of every person who has ever hurt you. Call the name of the one who deceived you, the one who belittled you, and even the one who was indifferent to you. Imagine them standing before you, and with all the greatness of an anointed soul, say to them in your mind, I forgive you. I release you from my mind. I return you to the universe. From now on, I walk my path. I receive my light. We owe each other nothing more in this life. When you do that, you will feel a crack resound in the unseen realm. The boulder weighing on your chest for decades will shatter. Your soul will be weightless, floating like a feather. And at the exact moment your soul's vessel is emptied, my waterfall of grace will immediately crash down, filling every empty space with a peace that surpasses all human understanding. Do not worry about who will protect you when you let go of that rough armor of hatred. Remember my promise, no weapon forged against you will prosper, and every tongue raised to accuse you, you will refute. I am your shield. I am the mighty fortress surrounding your home. When you choose to live by love and forgiveness, you are automatically transferred to heaven's highest level of protection list. I have dispatched the mightiest angels, with flaming swords, to stand guard at the four corners of your house, outside every window, and before your doors. Any negative energy, any malicious intent, any disaster deliberately creeping near your family will be incinerated right at the perimeter. You are completely safe. My beloved child, you can rest assured and sleep deeply tonight, no longer needing to brace yourself against the world, because I am awake to keep watch over you. Now, when your soul has been washed clean, when the generational curse has been broken, and when your home has been sealed with absolute protection, the soil of your home has become perfect to nurture an unprecedented greatness. But do you know why I cleared away every obstacle so thoroughly? Why I am preparing to grant you a massive volume of wealth, health, and peace to the point that those around you will be envious. This wealth and restoration is not merely for your family to live days of selfish enjoyment. If it were only to solve the food and clothing for your family, I would only need a flick of my hand. But my intention for you is tens of thousands of times greater than that. You are stepping into a spiritual mission that even you have never dared to dream of. Do not leave just yet. Chosen one, linger a little longer, because in the next part, I will reveal to you the big picture of your family's true destiny. I will reveal why prosperity chose to fall upon your roof, and what sacred law of karma will ensure this wealth never runs dry, but will last down to your great-grandchildren. The big picture of your family's true destiny. The deepest reason explaining why prosperity chose to fall upon your roof, and the sacred law ensuring this wealth lasts down to your great-grandchildren. All are encapsulated in this profoundly great truth. I never bless a person just so they can selfishly enjoy comfort. I bless a person so that through them, dozens, hundreds of other lives are saved. My beloved child, look back at the struggling years that just passed. Why did I let you taste the absolute bottom of despair? Why did I let you know the feeling of digging around for spare change? The helplessness of seeing a loved one sick without the means to treat them? Or the feeling of being turned away by the world when you stumbled? Not to torture you, but to sow into your heart a seed of absolute empathy. Only those who have walked through ultimate darkness know how to appreciate the value of a ray of light. Only those who have cried from hunger will never turn their backs on the destitute. I have forged your heart in the furnace of lack, so that now, when I hand you the keys to infinite treasures, you will not become arrogant, haughty, or callous like the nouveau riche out there. You will understand the pain of those standing where you once stood. Your family's true spiritual mission is to become my great conduit of blessings in this world. The universe operates on the principle of flow. If I pour a massive amount of water into a stagnant pond with no outlet, no matter how clear the water is, it will eventually become murky and full and dry up. But if I pour water into a river where the water constantly flows out to water dry fields, then that river will never run dry. And I will continuously supply it with endless underground springs. Your family is my river. The financial restoration crashing into your house is not a stagnant puddle. It is a sacred current. I will make your purse so overflowing that you cannot spend it all yourself. I will grant you abundance so you can hold your head high and do the things you previously only cried over in helplessness. I know how it pained you to see your aging parents struggling to make a living, while you lacked the means to fully provide for them. I know you were heartbroken seeing your own siblings fall into debt, but you were helpless because you yourself were drowning. Now, everything will change. The wealth I place in your hands will give you the most beautiful power of love, the power to say, "Don't worry, let me take care of that." You will be the one paying hospital bills for loved ones without looking at the receipt. You will be the one providing capital for siblings who are stuck. You will have the ability to buy good meals and warm clothes for the miserable lives you accidentally meet on the street. You will become my invisible hands, distributing miracles to those crying out to me in despair. And every time you open your hand to give, every time you use your wealth to wipe away someone's tears, the sacred law of karma will instantly be activated. The angels will record every penny you sow, and I will pour back into your family's storehouse 10, 100 times over. That is the ultimate secret to keeping your family's wealth from ever running dry, and so that you have enough resources to fulfill this great mission. Right now, I officially issue the decree of double compensation over your entire life, O resilient child. I have recorded without missing a single day the years that the locusts ravaged your life. That swarm of locusts is the stolen opportunities, the swindled money, the years of youth buried in anxiety, and the family joys stolen by illness and discord. Did you think those things were lost forever? No. In my kingdom, nothing is lost. What the enemy illegally snatched from your hands, today I force them to vomit back to you twofold. If you lost 5 years of living in happiness, I will compensate you with 50 years of overflowing fulfillment. If you were cheated out of your hard-earned money, I will open new financial doors to refund you a massive fortune, many times that amount. The sweetness of this compensation will be so rich that it will wipe clean every bitter memory in your mind. You will look back at the stormy past like a distant dream, and your heart will hold nothing but awe and infinite gratitude. When this compensation and blessing pour down, your home will undergo a profound spiritual transformation. Your roof will not just be a shelter from the rain and sun, but it will truly become a brilliant lighthouse in the dark night. The atmosphere in your home will radiate such a strange frequency of peace that anyone stepping over your threshold will feel the burdens on their shoulders lifted. Those relatives, those acquaintances who once disparaged and turned their backs on you in your destitution, will now come knocking on your door. They won't come to mock anymore, but they will come in respect and astonishment. They will ask you, how could your family overcome such tragedies? How could you rise up and become so prosperous and happy like this? And that is the most brilliant moment in your mission. You will not arrogantly boast of your own intellect. You will smile, your eyes full of humility and peace. And you will gently answer them, that was not our own strength. That was the grace of the Most High. He did not ignore my family's tears, and He will not ignore your pain either. Your family's life is the most powerful, vivid, and authentic sermon about my love and infinite power. You will bring thousands of lost souls back to the light, simply by living a life overflowing with blessings. Now, as the grand picture has been unveiled before your eyes, you are standing at the most decisive moment of this entire journey, the final seal of the covenant. The ultimate key to lock all these blessings into your life forever is about to be handed over. I know. Right now, the enemy is screaming madly in your mind. He is creating distractions. He wants you to look at the clock, wants you to scroll to another video, wants you to feel tired and turn off this screen, because he knows that if you stay even one more minute, if you receive this final key, he will permanently lose the chance to ever touch the hem of your family's garments again. O beloved child, do not leave in a hurry. Do not abandon your massive harvest right in the middle of the field when the sickle is already in your hand. Your patience in these final moments is not just waiting. It is an action proving the absolute obedience of a soul ready to receive the light. Stay with me. Be still and focus intensely. Throw open the doors of your heart to receive the final decree, the most sacred ritual that will forever change your family's history. Right now, all preparations in the unseen world are complete. The ocean of grace has reached your doorstep, and the blueprint for your home's prosperity has been personally approved by me. However, there is an immutable law of the universe. My miracles always require cooperation from your absolute openness. I have set the banquet of glory, but the one who confidently steps up and sits down to enjoy it must be you, if your soul is vibrating fiercely from recognizing my voice. If your chest is burning with the desire for a root to branch change for your family, then this is the time you must make a decision. No need to search far and wide. No need to cling to anything on the outside. Right now, place your right hand over your heart. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Cast all your burdens, all your worries about making a living, right at my feet to seal this sacred mark. Scroll down to the comments and personally carve out the final covenant. My family and I officially step into the era of abundance. This decisive action, along with the peaceful heartbeat in your chest right now, will instantly create a seismic shift in the spiritual realm, activating all protection, health, and finances to pour down upon your house. Open your eyes and smile. Take my hand and let me do the work of the Almighty. Breathe a sigh of relief, for my peace has officially enveloped your home, from now and forevermore.